"Get out of my way, you're just a man in a costume." The tourist sneered, his voice echoing across the silent memorial as he lunged forward. The crowd gasped as the man, boasting loudly that he was a black belt, suddenly snapped a kick straight into the face of the stoic tomb guard standing watch. The guard's head snapped back, but he didn't flinch. His rifle remained pressed to his shoulder, his stance as unshaken as stone. Mothers shielded their children's eyes, tourists shouted, and phones came up recording the chaos. For a moment it looked like the guard would retaliate, but instead, he stood frozen in that dignified silence. The attacker laughed, puffing his chest. "What kind of soldier lets someone do that? I trained for years to fight. Guess you're not so tough after all." The crowd stirred angrily. Some wanted justice. Some were terrified. And then, slowly, deliberately, the guard lowered his weapon, eyes burning with discipline, and called in a single word: relief. Within seconds, a replacement stepped forward, locking into position without breaking formation as military police swarmed the black belt. The tourist screamed, "Don't touch me. I'm a master. I can take you all down." But his voice cracked with panic as he was forced to the ground, his bravado crumbling in front of the sacred tomb. The silence of the guards, their refusal to react with anger, seemed to humiliate him more than any punch could. As he was dragged away, the crowd began to clap. Not for him, but for the guards. Their composure under attack became the truest display of strength. But what no one in that crowd knew was why these guards refused to break character, no matter the insult or injury. Years earlier, that very same guard had buried his best friend beneath a folded American flag. He had promised himself that he would stand here, at the tomb of the unknown soldier, not for recognition, but for the men who never returned. For the ones whose names were lost, whose families never knew where they lay. Every step he took in ceremony, every rifle drill, every hour spent standing in blistering heat or freezing rain, it was for them. Training had drilled it into him. No distraction, no insult, no attack could break the silence owed to the fallen. Where the black belt thought strength was measured in kicks and punches, this guard knew true strength was standing still in the face of humiliation, choosing honor over ego. Meanwhile, the attacker sat in custody, his mind racing back through his so-called training. He remembered hours in the dojo, memorizing forms, chasing belts, chasing pride. His master had once told him, "The belt around your waist is not a weapon, it's a reminder to fight your own arrogance." But he never listened. He wanted power, not discipline. Respect, not humility. And now, cuffed and disgraced, he realized he had failed his training. Not because the guard defeated him, but because the guard didn't even need to fight. The true reversal came days later, when footage of the incident went viral. Millions watched the black belt's kick, but even more were stunned by the guard's unwavering stillness. Comment after comment praised the discipline. That's real strength. He proved silence is louder than violence. The black belt embarrassed himself. The guard honored heroes. The attacker became a meme, ridiculed worldwide. His dojo stripped him of his belt, his community shunned him, and even his family turned their backs, ashamed of the disrespect he had shown. Yet the guard, he became a symbol of unbreakable devotion, applauded not for what he did, but for what he didn't do. And there, hidden beneath the humiliation and the viral backlash, was the lesson that mattered most. Fighting skill may win matches, but discipline wins respect. One man's arrogance had crumbled before the silence of honor. As the crowd at the tomb gathered that day, many returned later, not to see a fight, but to witness the quiet march of the guard's relief. They brought their children, teaching them, this is what it means to serve. The sound of polished heels striking marble echoed stronger than any punch ever could. The black belt never forgot the moment he raised his foot against that guard. It haunted him, not because of the punishment that followed, but because in that instant he saw what true warriors looked like and realized he was not one of them. Strength is not the ability to strike, it is the ability to stand. The guard did not need to fight to win, because his silence defeated arrogance louder than any blow. So remember, real power is not in the kick, the punch, or the belt around your waist. Real power is in the discipline to honor what is greater than yourself. And when the guard returned to his post the next morning, the crowd erupted in applause, not for a man who fought, but for a man who endured. Before we end this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.